Welcome back to our next USG Initiative Spotlight. This week, we have another great representative with us. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Henry Pérez. I'm from Puerto Rico, currently in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm a sophomore, joined USG back in August, and I have been really happy with the organization itself, majoring in statistics, reconsidering engineering, also doing political science, and thinking of the pre-law, or I should say the law track. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Henry, welcome to the Spotlight. Thanks so much for coming on. How's the semester been so far for you, given that you're very, very far from Case?
Well, it's been good because I've been happy with the temperature here, just saving myself from the cold. But it's been a bit of a challenge when it comes to Zoom and the online learning, and there's also a 1 hour difference between Cleveland and Puerto Rico. But overall, the education has been good. Everything has been really welcoming within USG, and my classes and the professors are doing good.
That's nice to hear. You know, it's not always easy to stay in tough spirits when you're at home for a year, or in positive spirits when you're at home for a year, and it's tough to kind of always keep that optimism going. So respect to you. That's awesome. You've mentioned that USG's been seems like a supportive environment for you. I'm wondering if you could right off the bat kind of just talk to us a bit about what you've been doing, your roles in USG. I know you're on our academic affairs and student life committees, and you have important roles within them. So if you could feel free to detail kind of what you're doing there, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, I barely knew about USG a year ago during my freshman year, and it was thanks to Representative Liam Matthews who kind of pitched in the idea of USG. I kind of, you know, postponed the idea of joining last spring, and so I decided to leave it for fall 2020. Got elected thanks to the support I had from my friends and current constituents through the College of Arts and Sciences, and from there I joined the Student Life Committee led by Sophie Villamara, and then the Academic Affairs Committee led by BIDS. And within them, well, let's start off with Student Life. I've been part of a subcommittee for transportation. That was one of the big campaign topics or campaign issues that I was trying to promote and strengthen and also improve. So we're working on that. And I actually had the opportunity to lead the committee a few weeks ago. It was a fun thing to do. And at the same time, just meeting with Dick Jameson, who's an administrator for food and housing, has been very welcoming of our ideas. And at the same time, working on initiatives regarding slippery roads on campus, of course, transportation, and with Representative Ananya Harry also working on lighting on campus. So we're looking to improve that. And going to the second committee, academic affairs, we've been working, well, I was elected as Caucus Liaison for CAS, which stands for College of Arts and Sciences. And it has been a very nice position because I've had the privilege of meeting Dean Ward, which is the dean for CAS. And from there, just working on different initiatives and also dealing with the academic workload report regarding our shift to remote learning, and just dealing with that, gathering data for that. And besides that, we're also working on an initiative to actually creating template. This thanks to Representative Ben George, working on a template for the new GER and just looking for a way to, pave the way for the new students who want to decide on a major, and so they could, so the administration can make their lives easier when it comes to them choosing their current courses, their electives, and the general requirements. So we're in the way of doing that. It's been a complex process, but hopefully we'll get it done soon, maybe by the end of this year, if not at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, right. That's the thing, especially about those academic affairs initiatives. They are as long-term can get. Like when you say hopefully next year, I know you mean hopefully next year. That's how they are. But I know in your responses you mentioned meeting with the CAS Dean, Dean Ward, and also our VP of Campus Services, Richard Jameson. Was it kind of this weird thing for you to step into USG and then almost immediately, I mean, like, fresh a few months in, boom, you're meeting with top level admin? Like, was it weird? And Did it kind of feel normal after you got in the groove of things, or not really?
Oh, well, it was a big leap because I was elected for rep this past September officially, and then in November I think they elected, or maybe October, they elected the caucus liaisons. And when I ran for that, I was quite nervous. I thought other people were going to run against me, and I was a bit skeptical of myself. And then pitching in myself and promoting myself through GA was it's a bit nerve wracking at first, but then I got accustomed to, of course, speaking more at GA, and then just working on the public speaking aspect. And then when I met with Dean Ward, I was a bit nervous. I mean, talk about the dean of one of the caucuses of case. That's like a big deal. I mean, it's important people. And she was very, very welcoming and nice, and just simple. It wasn't like as terrifying as I had envisioned it would be. So thankfully it worked out well, and she's a very responsive and responsible dean. So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of USG, I think, a lot. Like, you don't really realize all the impact you can have in the people you can talk to until you're really in it, and you're like, boom, you can be doing a million things fresh into USG. And it seems like you've really taken that and run with it, which is so great to see. I know you mentioned kind of how intimidating public speaking could get at times for you. Do you feel like USG's kind of pushed you to get out of that kind of bubble a little bit and be able to speak more in front of people and be more comfortable with it?
Yeah, for sure. I think USC really helped me deal with my big issue of breaking the ice. When it comes to public speaking, I could just stand up and talk for a long time. I really love, uh, uh, giving out presentations or speeches. I've done that since high school. But when it came to breaking the ice, even for simple questions like, when did Columbus come to America? It's like, you kind of know it's 1492, but you're like, skeptical when it comes to, dealing with the pressure around talking people. So it's a bit of a social anxiety at times. But USG has really helped me tackle that. I really do. I think I command the public speaking part, but when it came to breaking the ice at GA and talking about announcements or, initiatives, it was always like, oh my God. I mean, this isn't even in person, but, you still have to overthink things and then decide if you want to hit the raise the hand button on Zoom. So that was a kind of a big thing. So I think USG has really helped me just let go of that fear and really just be free in that way, and just share my thoughts, of course, always with a huge chunk of respect, but always just feel comfortable and just share my ideas, because that's the point of the organization. Just, build from each other and hope for the best in terms of administration and academic and other campus related things, improvements. So yes.
I'm happy for you. I'm really happy that USG's been able to kind of do that for you. And hey, that's great. I got to say, the dynamics of in-person GAs, though, it is so different than Zoom. We're in the tap room in a Delbert, and it feels like, at least for me, for at least the first year, it felt so formal. It was like, yeah, I felt like in some ways it was harder to talk because, you're seeing everyone in person, but
Yeah.
also it's easier to just kind of raise your hand rather than, have to think about clicking that button.
Wait, does someone have a gavel? Like, like order in the room and all that stuff?
We actually do. Yeah, our speaker has a gavel in person.
Okay. Oh, God. I can't imagine Sonia with a gavel just smashing that thing.
I know, and it was fun. Our freshman year, we had or my freshman year, I should say. You were in senior high school, but my
Yeah.
freshman year, our speaker, his name was Prince. He loved this gavel. I mean, we were all talking before our GAs, and because so many of us were talking, a lot of times he couldn't hear, so he would just rock it against the table, say, "Call to order." It was a really funny experience. But anyways, one last question. But before we go today, I just kind of wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the initiatives that you mentioned earlier and kind of the goals of them, especially in terms of your work with SL and being subcommittee chair, and also in terms of the workload aspect of the AA stuff. What are kind of the end goals of that? And what and I know we already talked about the timeline for the AA one, but do you have a
Yeah.
timeline for the SL one?
Yeah. Regarding the SL one, I think we just wanted to revisit um, challenges that have been ongoing in terms of transportation. Um, Transportation is quite peculiar because you always have to be gathering data from the students and then reporting it to in this case, Mr. Dick Jameson. It's really just quite repetitive patterns, and you have to tackle them. But at the same time, since we're now changing different apps. I think we don't have the Writer app right now. We have Translock. So that's another big deal. Dealing with those technological innovations. With innovation also comes lots of different technological issues. So we're trying to tackle that. Efficiency when it comes to shuttle transportation, specifically the Greenie. It was a big deal for me and my friends freshman year when we wanted to go to Math 122 at 8 a.m. and then we just waited for the Greenie and it just swept by through us. So we just want to improve that because we do feel there's lots of potential for more efficiency, and we're just tackling that at the moment. And it's kind of a slow process, but if we gather data and keep working collectively, I think we could achieve the change. And when it comes to academic affairs, I think that the other initiative we're working on, if we, again, collectively work on it quickly and gather more data when it comes to the template for the GER and the new courses that we want, maybe we can get that done fully next year. But of course, academic affairs is quite slower because it's a bit more complicated.
Yeah, especially when it comes to something as large scale as, our general education requirements. That's something that will not be taken lightly by our admin, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyways, Henry, that's all I have for you today, but it was a pleasure talking to you and learning more about all your initiatives. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks you. Thank you very much for having me. It's a great chance, an honor, and I hope we keep working hard and finish this online semester and get back to it in a normal, regular setting by August of 21.
Fingers crossed for next year. When you're finally an upperclassman and I'm a senior, so hopefully. But hopefully. For all you listening, thanks so much as always for tuning in. I'll be back again soon with another Initiative Spotlight to cover more of our reps work. And thank you all so much for listening. Bye-bye.